This is a Rogers Sports presentation.
Welcome everyone to the CSL Game of the Week here at Etobicoke's Centennial Stadium, where tonight we've got the Portugal SC taking on the Serbian White Eagles. Hello and welcome once again. I'm Mike Arcelidis, joined alongside by my broadcast colleagues Ben Ennis and Theo Zagar. Gentlemen, tonight is a very important game. Serbia's on a roll, Portugal's struggling. Theo, what are you seeing here tonight from the star player of Portugal?
Well, they got their captain, Danny Amaral, 35-year-old from Brampton, Ontario. He's got 6 goals in 13 games, but they're not just going to look for his goals. He's got a good presence on the field. He's a playmaker. He's good defensively, so they're going to look to count on him all game.
Very experienced veteran. Over on the other side, Mr. Ennis, who do we got for the Serbian White Eagles?
Well, the Serbian White Eagles, everybody's going to be keying on Dragan Radovic. This guy has dominated scoring, not just on his team, but in the entire league, up there in total goals scored. He has 10 in just 14 games. The 30-year-old from Toronto is obviously a key man on the attack for the Serbian White Eagles, and he will be a key player for this White Eagles attack as they look to push it past the Portugal FC squad.
Now that we have a chance, let's take a look at the week that was with the CSL game results. Here they are. As you can see, on the 15th of August, it was the North York Astros overcoming TFC Academy 4-3, which you saw right here. Then it was the Serbian White Eagles 1-0 winners over Trois-Rivières Attack. Toronto, Croatia 1-0 over Windsor. London City tying Portugal FC 2-2. On the 16th, Windsor defeating Portugal FC 2-1. 17th, the Lions beat the Astros 1-0, and the Wolves dropped it to Trois-Rivières 1-0. Now, Ben, why don't you handle the National Division?
Well, these National Division standings look like this. Trois-Rivières top the table with 32 points. Behind them, North York at 26. Brampton Lions staying firm at 20 points. Windsor Border Stars behind them at 17 points make that. St. Catharines and TFC Academy both at 16 points, so very tough race for the playoffs. And London City bringing up the rear at 2 points. Well, why don't you take it away, Theo, for the International Division?
And the International Division, you have the Italia Shooters are red hot, but chasing close to Serbian White Eagles, who have won 8 of their last 9, unbeaten in 9. Toronto, Croatia just close behind the Eagles, and Portugal FC looking to bridge the gap between Croatia.
Now that we have a chance, here is our next telecast. We got the Brampton Lions here at Centennial Stadium taking on the Serbian White Eagles. That's live at 8 p.m. Friday, September the 5th. Coming up next, we got the starting lineup and opening kickoff. You're watching the CSL Game of the Week on Rogers TV. Stick around.
Welcome back to Centennial Stadium in Etobicoke, Ontario, Canada. I am Ben Ennis along with Theo Zagar. Glad we could bring you the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV. We've got the Serbian White Eagles taking on Portugal FC. Let's have a look at the lineups. Starting lineups for Portugal FC. We've got Feedy and Fuller up front with Silva doing the goalkeeping. The captain, Danny Amaral, in the midfield. Number 10, look out for him. He will be dynamite on those crosses and free kicks as he looks to head the ball home past the keeper for the Serbian White Eagles, which is Dan Pelk, as we have a look at their starting lineup. Dragan Radovic, the man up front. He has 10 goals in 14 games so far this year, puts him right up at the top in terms of league scoring, so he will be the man to look for absolutely for the Serbian squad. As we have a look at the substitutes there, as Vesiknits will be a man to watch off the bench in the second half, just arrived today and should be a key substitute in the second half. We have a look at the head coaches now. Head coach of Portugal FC, Jose Testas. He's looking primed and ready to lead his squad as they are in hostile territory here at Centennial Stadium. And there is the head coach of the Serbian White Eagles, Milan Čenčerović, as we are seconds away from the opening kickoff here at Centennial Stadium. Ben Ennis along with Theo Zagar. It's the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV. The Serbian White Eagles hosting Portugal FC, and we are just about to get underway. It will be Portugal FC with the first possession. Theo, both of these squads in desperate need of wins. More so the Portugal side in particular, because they are battling for a playoff spot. The White Eagles firmly entrenched near the top of that international division, but a big game here for Portugal.
Yeah, always a big game when you're playing a division rival. Look for this game to start off quick. It's going to be an action-packed game because you got two quality teams and in desperation of a playoff spot.
Here's the Portugal FC squad moving it up. It was Bailey finding his man Fuller. Fuller trying to put it in front, but that sails long and wide, so it'll be a goal kick for the Serbian White Eagles. Dan Pelk will kick it away.
Yeah, good play by Jankovic. He just kept him on the outside and forced him to make a bad cross and result in a goal kick for their team.
Mark Jankovic is that stalwart defender for the Serbian squad. He is the tallest man on the field by miles, and he just rises up and gets those free balls and is very adept at taking his man off the ball. Here's the goal kick, and it's controlled by Portugal FC as they try to get it back to midfield. It ping-pong back and forth, and that pass sails wide, so it'll be a throw-in for the Serbians. Stepanovic throws it in. White Eagles have possession. That's back to Jankovic. Jankovic working his man Bailey. He's taken off the ball, sent back into the Serbian zone. They'll try the middle of the field, try to go over the defense, and it's a good pass. Controlled by the White Eagles. That ball is sent towards the middle of the area. Unable to clear it was Portugal FC, but they will have the throw-in.
Yeah, it was a smart play by Budulic. Instead of giving him a free kick, if he touched that ball for an offside, he just allowed it to go. And now Portugal FC has to sort of work their way up the field now.
Portugal FC set to throw it in from their own side of half. That's headed back out of play by Jankovic.
That seems to be a little bit of a communication problem between Jankovic and his teammate. It's just almost colliding to one another. Usually the stronger person in the air would take control of that, so you'd have to give it to Jankovic every time he called for that ball.
Nicholas throws it in, but it's controlled by the Serbians. Nicholas gets it back, gets it up to Bailey, goes off Bailey's foot, but Bailey gets it back. Bailey trying back over to Nicholas. Nicholas has eyes for Bailey, and that pass just sails past the sideline, so it'll be a throw-in and a change of possession back over to the Serbians. But they're taking off the ball quickly. Portugal FC looking to regroup. That's McIntosh. McIntosh looking for Bailey. Bailey's got it on a string now. Bailey surveying his options, tries to go wide, but that's a nice play to break it up by the defender, Vucinic. Sent back to midfield. That's Bailey sending it back to midfield. Back to Bailey. Ramon Bailey. Looking for the captain, Danny Amaral, but a little bit of miscommunication there as Amaral just kept running and ran just past the pass.
I think Amaral knew he was in an offside position, so again, you know, a smart play. Just let the play continue instead of just giving him a freebie down the field. So Bailey's got to just get rid of that ball a little bit sooner. Amaral is making those runs behind the defenders. He's just got to let it go a little bit earlier.
Budalic looking to pick up that goal kick, but it sails wide into the waiting hands of Mike Silva. Portugal looking to get something going. And there's a nice tackle, but a throw-in for Portugal FC. Controlled by FC, near sideline. Nice footwork there. Bailey's got it now. Bailey sending it back. Nicholas looking cross field. Emerson Feedy trying to cause a turnover. But that's sent out of harm's way as it ping-pongs around in the Serbian end. And as far down the international division standings as Portugal FC are, the Serbians still have to look out for them. They can be a dangerous squad. Here's a chance, though, for Serbia. That ball is picked off by McIntosh, and McIntosh clears it halfway down the field, but offside.
Yeah, just a slight offside. Correct call by the assistant. He's already lined up offside, so he's got to watch his line once they get possession of that ball.
Here's Portugal now. Back to Feedy. Feedy's got the big left foot. He gets it up to Gomez. Gomez taking off the ball smartly, though. Gomez doesn't give up on the play, causes a deflection, and eventually a turnover as it is sent back to midfield. Here's Nicholas. Sending it back to McIntosh. McIntosh looking middle of the field. He's got a man. And it's Fuller. Fuller looking for the captain, Amaral, but he's taken off the ball. Here's the kick from the goaltender, Pelk. Pelk sending it to Budalic. Budalic unable to handle it. It'll be a throw-in just past midfield for Portugal FC. It's sent back to Nicholas. That's a dangerous pass back to the tender Silva, and it's picked off. Here comes the Serbian White Eagles. Sent towards the middle of the field. Here's Jancevic, shot on goal, saved easily. An easy first test for Mike Silva there as he gobbles that up quite easily.
Yeah, it was a no contest save for Silva. You know, right at him. I just had to be concentrating on the bounces in front of the net. But other than that, it should be no problems for the keepers tonight.
Must be nice for Silva to have his first action of the game, and no nerve showing there as he made the easy hand save. And here's a turnover as the White Eagles now pressing. Budalic, a nice pass over to Vucinic. Vucinic with the cross, looking for Budalic, perhaps Radovic too. Radovic had a run, but it's picked off nicely by Portugal FC. There's a pass up. A beauty, but Amaral can't control it, and it goes. It looks like it will be a goal kick. Thought maybe it went off a defender.
Yeah. I think it was a corner kick, but the referee made the call. He looks to be a little bit closer to the play, but again, they're giving too much space to Amaral, who's their top scorer on their team. He cannot afford to give that much space. He took the ball well. He almost looked that he was behind the player, but the defender did well to catch up, but they cannot allow him to get into the open like that. He's making some smart runs early off the bat. Their teammates got to find him.
Danny Amaral, the man to watch for Portugal FC. We highlighted Dragan Radovic pre-game as the player to watch on the Serbian squad, but Sasha Vucinic is also a very key player. Haven't seen him for a while. He's been at home in Serbia, but has returned for the game today and could have an impact on the second half. Did not start, but there are rumors that he will come out to play in the second half. Budalic crossing. There's a nice header right on goal, handled nicely by Silva. First good chance of the evening came off the head of the Serbian White Eagles, but a nice save there by Mike Silva.
Yeah, good all-around play. Good sequence. Good cross by Budalic. Good header by Radovic, and a good save by Silva. So a good sequence in this game so far.
Not a very good sequence there for Nicholas as it goes off his foot and out of play, and Budalic now looking to control in the corner. He's bodied off the ball by Nicholas, but Budalic does get it towards the goal, and Silva had to come out and make a play on that ball.
Yeah, he did very well. Those are tough balls for a goalie when they're just hanging up there and people are in front of you. Did well just to bring it down, keep control of it. He's done well so far in this game.
Emerson Feedy using that big boot to his advantage, looking for Gavin Fuller, but Fuller is taken off the ball, but Fuller almost creates a turnover. Instead, it'll be a throw-in for the Serbian White Eagles near the corner.
Yeah, this is where Portugal FC needs to just close him down. You got him deep in the zone. You got to look to win this ball right here and try to get a counterattack as quick as possible.
Yankovic has Budalic. Budalic plays it dangerously back towards the middle of the field. Headed back over to Nicholas. Nicholas trying to go back over his head, and he will be rewarded with a free kick as the referee points to the spot where it will be kicked from, and it will be Nicholas set to take it from almost midfield. There's a ball that is way over everybody into the waiting arms of Dan Pelk. Pelk drop kicks it 3/4 of the way down the field. Takes one hop up in the air and controlled by Portugal FC. Gavin Fuller sending it back and receives the pass in return. Fuller working his man, but FC turn it over. Here's Budalic. Budalic, a nice pass. And that's a pass that's picked off smartly by Bailey. Bailey's gonna have a go. He has the captain Amaral. Amaral calling out some instructions. Back to Bailey. That pass appeared to hit a rough piece of turf, and we'll see that a couple of times on this field. Not the pristine artificial turf that Portugal FC is used to playing on at Lamport Stadium. This one has a few rough edges.
Yeah, the field doesn't look like it's in the greatest shape. You know, I mean, they got to watch out for the bounce, especially in the middle of the field where most of the play happens. And as a midfielder, it's always tough to get balls at their feet when the field is like this. And like you said, Portugal FC is used to playing on a nice pitch, nice artificial turf that, you know, you get the predictable bounce.
There's a ball looking for Budalic. Budalic unable to handle it. And Mike Silva will keep it from going out of play, and he'll play it up to his defenseman Nicholas. Nicholas with a deep ball. That's past everybody. Bailey, though, battling. That ball is sent back dangerously. Dan Pelk will play it back to his counterpart, Silva. One scoring opportunity in total so far in this game. It came off the head of Dragan Radovic off a cross from Budalic. So far, no goals to speak of into the 12th minute. You're watching the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV. The Serbian White Eagles hosting Portugal FC at Centennial Park. Glad we could bring you all the Canadian Soccer League action. Ben Ennis along with Theo Zagar.
I don't know. I think Janovic just followed up on his kick. Just probably caught him just over the shin pad of the Portugal FC player, but nothing alarming. It was completely by accident. You could see Yankovic just giving a little hand gesture saying, you know, he apologized if he did anything, which it was an accident. So looks to play on, looks to stay on the field.
That was Gavin Fuller down on the turf for a moment, but he's back into the play, and that ball is off a Serbian player. It'll be another throw in, and Fuller collects the ball.
I think the assistant in the corner had called a foul against the Serbian White Eagles, so look to it to be sort of like a corner kick. It's in the same vicinity, so you just play it like a corner kick, and that's how you would defend this. So they got to regroup now. And this is a dangerous scoring opportunity for Portugal FC.
Especially when this man is taking the free kicks. Emerson Feedy has a cannon. Here's the kick. It gets through, but off the head of a defender and out of harm's way. The Serbians unable to clear it, though. Portugal desperate for an opening goal here. Feedy with a nice feed just out of the reach of Amaral. That would have been a beauty.
Yeah, not a bad play. Just a little bit too much on that cross, but the right idea. Amaral got him behind. The Serbian White Eagles got to have that eye on Amaral. You know, I mean, he's getting the runs behind, so they can't allow him to get in behind.
That's a great play by Bailey to maintain possession for Portugal FC. Gomez, though, taken off the ball. Gomez trying to battle back, and he is rewarded with a throw-in for Portugal FC, as they've taken a bit of the momentum here in the 14th minute. There's their head coach, Jose Testes, as Kevin McIntosh will kick it away at midfield. Oh, that's a nice play. Vigor Gomez now has the captain Amaral waiting. He sends it back. Feedy with a big shot. Way too big for that opportunity, as that was a good 20 feet over the net.
Yeah, it was a good cross over top, good little layoff. But you see, he kind of leans back on the shot, and therefore the ball goes over there. He's got to get his body over the ball, get that ball low, and create a shot on net.
We've seen lots of scoring opportunities from Emerson Feedy so far on Rogers TV this year. Feedy is very dangerous on those free kicks, as he can really fire his shot on goal. Referee going to call for a free kick, it appears, as it was taken a little too quickly by Nicholas. Referee wasn't happy with that free kick.
He was just issuing his warning. The referee still has to be ready, not just the players. So he has to give his warning out to the player, and when the referee is ready, then he can allow the play to go on.
Ronald Nicholas will kick it away for Portugal FC. Danny Amaral moving around near the area, and it's sent in his direction. Veers left towards Vigor Gomez, but he's taken off the ball smartly by the White Eagles. Here's Emerson Feedy, though, picking it off himself. He sends it towards the middle of the field to Silva, looking for a man, and it's Big Yankovic controlling, but he's taken off the ball. Throw in for Portugal FC. They look to take it quickly. Captain Amaral sending it back to Nicholas, and he can't get it through Budalic, the captain for the White Eagle squad, and Budalic can't control the bouncing ball. The White Eagles do finally control, only to kick it past everybody into the waiting foot of Mike Silva. Silva starts the Portugal attack, up to Ramon Bailey. Bailey's going to try the left side. Back to McIntosh. Busto sending it up to Amaral. Amaral looking for Feedy, a little bit too long, but comes back to Amaral, but he promptly sends it back in towards the goaltender Pelk. Pelk will control.
Yeah, they just seem that they're forcing the ball too much. A lot of balls just playing over top, and the forwards are not being ready. Both teams are capable of playing the ball on the ground, and I think that's their style, and both of them have gotten away from that.
That ball is sent awry by the Serbian White Eagles. So Portugal FC will control. Nicholas looking for his man Gomez, but he's taken off the ball. Here's a ball in for Radovic, and he's in an offside position.
Yeah, great call, great ball by the assistant. He was already lined up offside, and just a half step. That's all you need to be flagged, and good call by the assistant there.
So Dragan Radovic thought he had an opportunity. It is nullified by the offside. Portugal FC start the ball up. Busto sending it back. McIntosh surveying the field, has Feedy. Feedy feeding it to his left side. Amaral calling for it. He receives the pass. Amaral now trying a cross, but nobody home, and the goaltender Dan Pelk making a nice save. That's sent, and Nicholas had a bit of a tough time with it. Budalic controls. He has a man in Radovic, but can't get it through to him. Here comes Nicholas. Nicholas to Bailey, back to Nicholas. He plays give and go with Bailey. Bailey's gonna try it up the right side, but a nice defensive play there by the White Eagles.
Seems that Bailey's taking control of that midfield. You know, he's distributing the ball really well.
As we have a look at that opportunity there for Portugal FC. Nice save by Dan Pelk. That ball could get through to Amaral. Nice play by Amaral, but Dan Pelk gets the mitts on it. Bats it out of harm's way. Danny Amaral with a bit of an opportunity there. The bouncing ball just wouldn't land on his foot. And a nice play by Dan Pelk to keep this game scoreless in the 20th minute.
Dan Pelk anticipated that the ball would come through, did well to come out. I don't think Amaral got his full foot on the ball to get it and scoop it over Dan Pelk, but it was a good reaction save by him to keep this game scoreless.
Maybe a bit of what we mentioned earlier in the turf playing a factor in that one. Seemed to take a very high bounce.
Yeah, the bounce could definitely, or the field could have caused that ball to not bounce properly for Amaral, and didn't really get a good foot on that to get it over top of him.
Portugal FC with the corner. That's batted away by Pelk, but it's Portugal FC trying to keep it in. Nicholas can't quite do it. Here come the White Eagles. Here's Dragan Radovic. He's on a run by himself, but that shot is well over the crossbar. Dragan Radovic looking to create the opportunity in transition. Appeared to have room, maybe a bit too quick on the shot, and he suffers with the high shot.
Yeah, he did well to stay onside this time. I think that was his only play. He knew he was getting closed down, but the ball was bouncing, so he tried that little chip shot. Really didn't get around on that ball, but just put too much power and just got away from him. Not something you would see from Radovic.
Radovic has 10 goals already this season in just 14 games played, so he knows what it feels like to fill the onion bag. And almost with an opening goal of this game, instead it is still scoreless between the Serbian White Eagles and Portugal FC. It's the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV. Ben Ennis along with Theo Zagar. Mike Arcelides on the sideline as well. Glad to bring you all the action from Centennial Stadium here in Etobicoke. Mike Silva with a, well, bluntly a terrible pass.
Well, I think he got caught getting the ball on his left foot and really couldn't get around to hit it with his right, so he tried to make a play. Was fortunate enough that it didn't go to a Serbian White Eagles player.
There we are at beautiful Centennial Stadium here as the sun has just set. We are under the lights here on a beautiful night for soccer. Not a breath of wind and a perfect temperature for these players. Here comes Portugal FC. The pass gets to Fuller. Fuller plays it back to Nicholas. Nicholas up to Bailey. Bailey has a man in Amaral. Amaral, though, can't control. The captain, Budalic, with some nice footwork there to elude Fuller. He sends it back to Jankovic. They'll try the middle of the field. Here's Budalic now. Budalic just barely getting a boot on that before it went out of play. He has a nice pass in there, and there's a shot that sails just over the bar. A fantastic opportunity for Vucinic as he took the pass from Budalic. Looked to have the top left corner and just missed putting it in for the opening goal.
Yeah, good effort by Budalic to keep that play going, and he's just got to take a little bit off that. He's just trying to rip that ball through the net rather than just trying to get it on net, and you know, he's trying to overpower accuracy before power.
We mentioned how important this game is in the standings as we have a look. The Serbian White Eagles with the chance to move into first place with a win here. Portugal FC right now, if the playoffs were to start tomorrow, would be on the outside looking in as they currently sit in 9th place in the Canadian Soccer League. So both teams playing for a lot here. at Centennial Stadium. Free kick for Portugal FC. Both squads in desperation mode, and I think we've seen it early in this game.
Yeah, you see a little bit, they're a little tense. They're not playing their style, their usual style, but you are seeing the chances. You are seeing the quality of play by both teams, and the goalkeepers have stood up and made this and kept keeping this game scoreless.
Here comes Portugal FC. Busto sending it up to Fuller. Fuller looking for Bailey. Bailey is trying to elude two defenders. Bailey comes up limping and actually goes down to the turf. That's bad news for Portugal FC. He's still down. Looks like he might get up. As we have a look at Bailey now with the stoppage, just trying to walk it off.
It just probably got clipped in the ankle there, and you know, most of the players don't have these shin pads that have the ankle protection, so they're kind of bulky. So a lot of players don't wear them, and he probably just got nicked right on that spot, and referee didn't see much to call that play.
Yeah, and it looks like Ramon Bailey will be okay. He is going to remain on the field. White Eagles will have a free kick near midfield. Sent over towards the sideline. Here's Vucinic. Playing it up to Budalic. Budalic muscled off the ball. Fuller. Make that Gomez taken off the ball. There's Fuller. Up to Nicholas. Make that Bailey. Bailey back looking for Nicholas. Bailey at midfield. And a little too much physicality for the referee's liking. It'll be a free kick for Portugal FC.
Yeah, Bailey knows that he just held on the ball, but he's fortunate to get that call. He's just got to receive that ball and look to distribute it, maybe up to Amaral. But he's done well so far this game. He's the guy to go to in the midfield.
Nicholas tries the ball into the area, but that's sent aside by the White Eagles. Dragan Radovic tried to head it towards the center of the field, but his pass was picked off by Portugal FC. Here's Nicholas now. Nicholas trying a pass up to Fuller, but it was picked off by the White Eagles. Here's Vucinic.
Some communication problems by both teams. They're just trying to force balls in, and this is not their style. Their style is just to play the ball on the ground, play it through midfield, and look to distribute that way. They're trying to go over top and take away the midfield, and frankly, that's not both their style. They're more possession-type teams.
Nicholas will have the possession on the far sideline, looking for Danny Amaral, and Amaral can't quite get to it. The side referee signaling, I believe, that it went out of bounds.
Yeah, very fortunate, very fortunate. I think it was just a matter of inches, but did well to shield that ball out.
Here come the White Eagles, taking off the ball on the far sideline. Here comes Portugal FC, trying to get through two defenders, no call. Or is there? There's going to be a free kick.
Well, I didn't think we heard a whistle, but I guess there was one on the pitch.
So a dangerous looking free kick here for Portugal FC, as they will send what looks like 5 men into the box. They've enjoyed an 8-1 advantage in free kicks. And here it comes into the area, headed away by Big Yankovic, but that'll be a corner kick. Or will it? Now the referees
called the assistant called the offside. And I think it was a correct call. It's lined up offside right from the start, and that can't happen. Not at this level. You cannot start offside and expect to get an opportunity that way. You know, run on top of the ball. And that's how you're going to get goals, especially from across.
As a result, Dan Pelk will kick it away. He gets it to midfield and beyond, into the waiting body of Budalic, who has a man. And there's a free kick and perhaps some discipline here as Nicholas getting into it. If it was Stepanovic, and the referee not going to make a booking here, it doesn't look like. but it will be a free kick for the Serbian White Eagles.
Yeah, I know the White Eagles bench and crowd are vouching for a yellow, but I don't think it's much for him to pull out a book. He's spoken to both players to just calm down, and that's your warning. It's just a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a clip, and realistically, he basically slipped on that play at the end. So nice non-call by the referee, not to give anything.
Here's the free kick by Jancevic. That's off the bar as Dragan Radovic took the free kick from Jancevic. Appeared to have the far corner picked, but it goes off the bar.
And again, I think that this field has cost a goal for the Serbian White Eagles. It takes a sort of a awkward bounce, and Radovic unlikely gets a double touch off himself and doesn't really get a clean shot on net and hits off the post. So again,
that appeared to be headed for Stepanovic, goes through his legs and right into the waiting foot of Radovic, and he looked to have a play on that ball and did, just a bit unlucky to hit the bar.
Yeah, and that's the guy you want in front of the net, and it's unfortunate that they couldn't get that one goal.
Here's Budalic. Budalic with a nice play to Radovic, and it's offside. Again, the defenders coming up to catch Radovic in that offside position, and it was very close. We have a look at that free kick, and Radovic clanging the iron. No score here between Portugal FC on the road, playing the Serbian White Eagles at Centennial Stadium. We're into the 30th minute of play here in the first half. Good level of soccer being played so far. That's going to be controlled by Portugal FC. Nicholas near side, waiting to see what goaltender Silva has in mind. He sends it up. We're through 30 minutes of play here at Centennial Stadium. No score. Ramon Bailey looking to change that. Emerson Feedy playing give and go with Ramon Bailey. Sent back into Bailey, but a nice aggressive defensive play. And Radovic looking to capitalize on the turnover, but can't quite control it. Here's Budalic now, trying to create a turnover off Nicholas. That's gobbled up by Portugal FC. Busto. Up to Bailey. That's sent back. In towards Busto. Bailey playing it back now. McIntosh up to Bailey. Bailey trying to feed it in, and it looked like Fuller wasn't exactly fully prepared for that pass. At midfield, McIntosh trying the ball in for Amaral. Oh, and they had Gomez as well. Gomez couldn't come up with it, though. A nice chance there, but just unable to come up with the ball.
Made a good little run, just couldn't get his foot on that ball there.
Vigor Gomez and Danny Amaral were in deep there on the nice through ball, but couldn't control it. And as a result, no shot away for Portugal FC. Serbian White Eagles will throw it in the offensive zone. They control. There's a ball up for Budalic. It's in an offside position, and the referee calls the offside, taken quickly by Portugal FC. Here's Fuller. Amaral bodied off the ball. Free kick, Portugal FC.
Not a bad foul by Jankovic. And yeah, correct call by the assistant on Budalic there.
Nicholas looking for Gomez. Amaral looking for Bailey. That's back to Nicholas. Nicholas trying to get through two White Eagles defenders. He'll regroup in his own zone, send it back to McIntosh. McIntosh with some nice movement to get some ground there, and a nice pass up to Gomez. Gomez, though, Just taken off the ball by Vucinic, who is happy to just send it out of play. A nice play by Vucinic.
Yeah, good defensive play. Read the play going through. Turned well on that ball to beat Gomez to the ball. And just a nice, simple, just kick the ball out, let's regroup, and hopefully we can win that ball back again now.
Ramon Bailey sends it back. It's controlled by Feedy. Amaral sending it back. Here's Busto. Had a man in Fuller. Bailey couldn't control it either. Looked to go off a hand. It's called a handball. Free kick before the White Eagles, and the referee ruling that it was taken too quickly. So they'll redo it. No score here between the Serbian White Eagles and Portugal FC. We're into the 35th minute, so just about 10 minutes to go before halftime. No score between the White Eagles and Portugal FC. Both sides with a couple of opportunities. Perhaps the most dangerous looking one coming off the boot of Dragan Radovic. He hit the bar off a free kick. And Budalic is offside.
Yeah, this is again. There's both teams are doing it. They're lining off offside, and it's, you know, at this level, you got to know where your defender is. If you're an attacker, you got to know where your line is, so you don't get called offside right away.
Silva not getting everything on that kick from goal. Doesn't quite get it to midfield. Dan Pelk will kick it away. Pelk has the captain Budalic, but again offside, and now the fans starting to give it to the referee.
Yeah, we'd have to see that again, but it was close. You don't know when the ball has been kicked if Budalic didn't get back in time. So, you know, the linesman, the assistant's right there to make the call. You know, he's been bang on all night, so I wouldn't doubt his judgment right there.
Fuller playing it back to Busto. Here's Feedy. Feedy up to Amaral, who is surrounded by two White Eagles players, and turns it over. Here comes Serbia. That goes off a defender. It will be a throw-in for the White Eagles. The Serbians looking for an opportunity here. About 10 minutes away from halftime. No score. That throw-in is controlled by the Serbian White Eagles. In towards Sapanovic. He has a man. Vucinic. Taking it near sideline. He plays it back to midfield. And Stojicic. And that ball will go past the end line. Here's a look at the controversial play that the fans weren't pleased with. It did appear to be offside.
Yeah, I think he was offside. You're looking at the ball coming in, but when he's lined up and he's waiting for the ball, I think it was the correct call by the assistant.
Great work by the truck there to show us that replay angle, and it appeared to be a good call on the field. Here's a ball for Fuller. Is that going to stay beyond the end line? But Fuller makes sure it goes past the end line. It'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, he could have just controlled that ball. It wasn't a ball where he could play it first time. He's got to maybe control it. Maybe he's got a good one-on-one right there. He could probably take him on or cut it back and maybe lay off on a trailer.
Dan Pelk will kick it away. No score between the Serbian White Eagles and Portugal FC. This is the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV. We are live from Centennial Stadium. That's the home field of the White Eagles. And it has been very kind to them recently, as the White Eagles have won 7 straight coming into this contest, unbeaten in 8. And as a result, with a win, could take the lead in the international division. The Italia shooters currently holding down that top spot, but the White Eagles looking to dethrone them tonight.
And who had thought that the shooters would be caught? They've been on fire the whole year, and the White Eagles have just strung a few games in a row, and now they find themselves in a title race.
We are into the dog days of summer for this Canadian Soccer League, so every point in the standings very important here as we look at Bailey with a nice move and a shot on goal. That rebound comes out and there's a goal! Portugal FC breaking the deadlock as Ramon Bailey doing the dirty work, and it was capped off by Vigor Gomez. And he has high fives for the fans in the crowd. Vigor Gomez capitalizing on a huge, juicy rebound allowed by Dan Pelk, and he has the opening goal of this game.
Yeah, but you can't really all blame Dan Pelk. And, he did make the initial stop, and you have two defenders just watching the both attackers coming right to net, and Gomez, with no mistake, 6 yards from the net and just slotted through. So not all on Dan Pelk, but he could have done better on the shot.
Well, we talked just before that goal about the Serbian White Eagles hoping to take top spot in the international division. Now they look up at the scoreboard and they're down a goal before halftime, as Portugal FC also have a ton to play for. They're looking to get back into the playoff picture. Looking good right now. They lead this game 1-0, and there's a hard tackle, too hard, and the referee will make a booking. It'll be the forward Gavin Fuller receiving a caution on the hard tackle on the big defenseman Yankovic.
Yeah, and he's fortunate that it wasn't a red card. As a 2-foot tackle, studs up. I think he gave him the yellow card just because he didn't get enough contact on Yankovic. But nevertheless, he's still in the game, and he's got to watch himself now. He's got to watch those tackles.
The first bit of discipline in this game is a yellow card, and the recipient is Gavin Fuller. And seemingly moments after his team scores a goal, the feistiness opening up here at Centennial Stadium.
Yeah, this is where Portugal FC has got to really concentrate. There's a statistical analysis out there that most goals are scored against once you score a goal. So you can't become complacent. They got to just focus, and especially near the end of the half, they got to just buckle down for about 5 minutes, get into halftime up 1-0, and have some strategic going into the second half.
Well, we told you this would be a close game. Didn't seem to matter that Portugal FC was at the bottom of the international division and the Serbian White Eagles were near the top. They've played themselves pretty much evenly all season, and right here in this game we've seen that on any given day any team can take the lead. Referee not happy with that high boot, maybe making contact with the head there even.
Yeah, it was close play, but correct call by the referee. No arguments from the White Eagles.
The fans looking for the tying goal from the White Eagles. Just about 3 minutes away from halftime. Portugal FC have a 1-0 lead. It was Vigor Gomez breaking the deadlock. Sent back towards midfield. Pass up to Fuller. Fuller can't get a boot on it. That'll go past the sideline. Throw in for the Serbian White Eagles.
Again, not just making a simple pass. They're trying to hit long balls that are sort of 50-50. So they just got to just keep possession. They're just trying to do too much. These long balls they're low percentage passes. So they gotta just play it simple.
Sapanovic taking off the ball, and with authority was Ronald Nicholas. Not much time for a fan to react if it was headed in that direction.
But I think it was a good tackle, and I think the referee has called a throw-in. I think the deflection hit off a White Eagles, the White Eagles forward. So again, a double whammy against Budalic, I think.
Yeah, Portugal FC still has possession, as I'm sure they will be happy to get into the dressing room with that 1-0 lead that they enjoy right now, about 2 minutes away from the half. Shouldn't have too much stoppage time here in this first half. Haven't seen really anybody needing medical attention on the pitch. So
no, I don't think it's going to be much. Maybe about a minute of stoppage time. So you got about a good 3 minutes till halftime. So they got to buckle down here. Just play smart for the next 3 minutes. Go into the half up 1. You don't want to allow any goals right now.
This crowd in stunned silence right now as they watch their Serbian White Eagles squad down a goal and down 1-0. A minute before the half, offside Portugal FC. Free kick to be taken by Dan Pelk. And this might be the last offensive opportunity of the half for the White Eagles. Radovic was the intended recipient of that pass. That'll be a throw-in near sideline for the White Eagles.
Yeah, Dan Pelk, he's got to look to hit one of his targets. If it's Radovic, he's got to look to hit him. If it's Budalic, he's got to look to hit him. You can't just put stray balls and hope for someone to just get onto it. So he's got to look and he's got to aim to where he wants to go.
It's another free kick for the White Eagles. Played up quickly to Budalic. Budalic playing it towards midfield. Jancevic unable to get it past his man. Jancevic throwing it in for Radovic. Jankovic keeps it in though, but it will be a throw-in for Portugal FC as there is 1 minute of added time here in this first half. 1 minute away from halftime, and Portugal FC is 1 minute away from a 1-0 halftime lead. Stay tuned. At halftime, we will have an interview with the goal scorer, Viger Gomez. We'll also have all the results and standings and highlights from our first half of action here, and plenty of those to go around. Maybe another one here. Budalic just taken off the ball in a dangerous area.
Yeah, Budalic could have done just a tad better on his touch. Just got away from just slightly, and very fortunate for Portugal FC not to allow a goal in the last minute or in stoppage time.
That would have been an absolute heartbreaking goal.
Yeah, you can't allow it. You have to be concentrating for the full, whatever. If it's 1 or 2 minutes, you got to be concentrating the whole half if you want to go into the half with the lead.
Nicholas plays it off the head of a defender. Jancevic is taking off the ball. The fans wanted a free kick, and they'll get it. And Jancevic not happy with Kevin McIntosh, who's lying on the turf.
Oh, wow.
Thinks he's simulating.
No, if you look at the replay, you see he gets a knee up right in the hip. So I don't know if it was on purpose or if maybe he's trying to get the ball. But did make some contact, so look for the referee to just add some time on here. Probably one last play for the half, and there's some extracurricular activity on the sideline here, and hopefully everything stays intact and no disciplinary action is issued here.
Well, not exactly sure who that was for the Serbian White Eagles, making his way down the field and sort of getting into it with the Portugal coaching staff. But it's still Kevin McIntosh on the turf, and no simulation here at all. He is obviously in some pain, but he is moving. Looks like he will get up under his own power. The referee having a close eye on the developments. Captain Nikola Budalic also looking on as he just wants to take this free kick and get a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, it was worse than we actually thought. And, for him to be down for quite some time, He's obviously in some serious pain, walking off on his own will, which is good. I would see for him to be coming back in the second half. So.
And that will be the end of the first half. The fans don't like it one bit, as they thought there should have been a little bit more added time there with the injury late in that first half, but none awarded. We will head into the first break in play with Portugal FC leading the Serbian White Eagles 1-0. Stick around for an interview with Vigor Gomez. You're watching the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Centennial Stadium, where after 45 minutes, it is the Portugal SC leading 1-0 over the Serbian White Eagles. Welcome back. I'm Mike Arcevides here at field level, and I'm joined by Vigor Gomez as well as the assistant coach of Portugal SC, Mr. Carvalho. Mr. Carvalho, Vigor, tell me about your goal.
Está a perguntar para explicar como marcaste o gol.
É gratificante, eu que estava uns jogos fora, né? E para mim voltar e fazer gol é o mais importante, porque eu sou um atacante, eu vivo disso. E para mim poder pegar a confiança nos meus companheiros, na comissão técnica, tá um jogo difícil, mas fui grato, fui abençoado por Deus por esse gol.
He's saying it's a difficult game. It's been a difficult game. He needed that goal for his confidence. It was a goal that he was there at the right time, and he just needed that to boot up his confidence.
It seemed like both sides were a little apprehensive at the beginning, and now that you got the 1-0 lead, what are you going to do to keep it in favor of Portugal FC, knowing that Serbia takes charge in the second half of every game?
Está a dizer que o Serbian White Eagles começa a jogar mais forte para a segunda parte. E o que é que tu achas que a gente vai fazer da segunda parte para manter a vantagem?
Nós estamos fazendo um jogo difícil, que eles têm jogadores altos, nós estamos jogando pelo meio do campo e está dificultando a bola aérea. O que tem melhor a fazer agora no segundo tempo é abrir o jogo pela lateral, procurar bastante cruzamento e só assim a gente vai sair com os 3 pontos.
He's saying it's difficult to play with them in the air because they're a big team, they're a tall team, but we're going to try to explore the wings and hopefully we'll maintain our advantage or maybe even get another goal.
We'll see what happens. Best of luck. Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. Stick around. You're watching the CSL Game of the Week live on Rogers TV. 1-0 Portugal over Serbia. Stick around. We got more for the halftime. Welcome back to Centennial Stadium. We're at halftime. It's Portugal FC leading 1-0 over the Serbian White Eagles, thanks to a goal in the 38th minute by Vigor Gomez. I'm Mike Arcelidis, joined alongside by Ben Ennis and Theo Zagar. Gentlemen, a very entertaining first half. Surprisingly, Portugal's leading here.
Yeah, I feel a little bit like Jabba Chamberlain in the baseball playoffs last year. We're inundated by gnats here, but yeah, that first half, lots of excitement. Portugal FC surprising to have this a 1-0 lead here in the first half as we have a look at the highlights. And Theo, Portugal FC playing like a desperate club. They need to win almost all their games going in to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're getting some good goaltending and also getting a little bit of luck. You know, Radovic hit the post on a header or on a volley. But nevertheless, you know, you can't keep a team around, and only got a couple of opportunities, and all they needed was that one opportunity where the defense sort of broke down and Gomez just slotted it through, and basically they're up 1 at halftime.
Yeah, great play by Bailey to set up the goal by Gomez as Bailey took the shot. It was unable to be controlled by Dan Pelk, and there were a couple injuries there, and an interesting way that first half ended as the fans not pleased with the halftime whistle blowing as there was an injury. As we have a look at the match summary, Portugal FC does lead it 1-0. Vigor Gomez scoring in the 38th minute. Corner kicks 2-0 for Portugal FC. Free kicks 11-5 for Portugal. Shots on goal 5 apiece. The one yellow card belongs to Gavin Fuller as he made a dangerous spikes up tackle as it was just a very interesting first half, and good for Portugal FC. They're desperate, and they've got a 1-0 lead.
Gentlemen, what can we expect now? Because this is when, in the second half, the Serbian White Eagles turn the heat up.
Well, you're gonna look for the White Eagles to go maybe a second man up. I think Radovic is all alone up there. I think he needs some help, some support. What they need to do now is start pushing up a little bit forward, maybe going with the second guy up top to help out Radovic. Look to see Visiknes in the second half to give that support for Radovic.
Let's take a look now that we have some time for what we've got on tap for our next telecast. It's the Brampton Lions visiting us here, Serbian White Eagles, Friday, September the 5th, live at 8 p.m. Stick around, we got more after the break. You're watching the CSL Game of the Week. Here are your CSL League results on the 15th of August. It was the North York Astros beating TSC Academy 4-3. Serbian White Eagles beat the top team in the league, Trois Rivières Attack 1-0. Toronto, Croatia winning 1-0 over Windsor. London City tying 2-2 against Portugal. On the 16th, the Windsor Border Stars won it 2-1 against Portugal. The 17th, the Lions from Brampton beat North York Astros 1-0. And the St. Catharines Wolves lost to the Trois Rivières Attack 1-0.
And the National Division, you have Trois Rivières Attack up top with the Astros 6 points behind them. Brampton Lions, another 6 points. Windsor Stars, 3 points behind Brampton. And following up the bottom will be London City with 2 points.
Yeah, they're in the international division. You see the Italia shooters atop of the table, but really above them should be the Nats. They are leading tonight as they are dominating us. Serbian White Eagles, 29 points, 14 games played, as they can move into first with a win here. Toronto, Croatia, 25 points in 15 games, and Portugal FC bringing up the rear with 16 points.
Stick around, we got more. The Nats are here. It's 1-0. Portugal FC leading the Serbian White Eagles. CSL on Rogers TV. We got the second half next.
Welcome back to Centennial Stadium. You're watching the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV. Portugal FC leading the Serbian White Eagles 1-0. Vigar Gomez scoring the lone goal of this game. A very back and forth game. Really, both teams having some chances, and it was Portugal FC making good on their best of the game. And here's a look at that goal. Save initially made by Dan Pelk on the Ramon Bailey shot, but there was Vigar Gomez able to collect the juicy rebound and put it into the onion bag.
Yeah, you know, there's Gomez who slotted that play in. So look for the White Eagles to attack a little bit more, attack more in the second half. So basically, you know, Portugal FC can't just drop back for 45 minutes and try to defend his one goal lead. They just got to play the style that they've been playing. You know, try to look for Amaral up top, and again, you know, and then try to shut down the door maybe in the last 10 minutes. But they can't do this whole half. So they got to play a smart game right now. Keep possession, and White Eagles has got to pressure a little bit more in the second half, maybe to equalize and go from there.
Well, we know the Serbian White Eagles have some offensive scoring punch, and we expect that they will make a substitution here in the second half with Sasha Visiknets coming in. But there is Yami Williams entering the game for Kevin McIntosh. So Yami Williams will try and lock down this Portugal FC defense here in the second half. They've got a one-goal lead. They lead the Serbian White Eagles 1-0. Just about ready to get underway here in the second half, as the White Eagles will have first possession. It's Dragan Radovic near the ball at midfield. And as we mentioned, Sasha Visiknets making his return from Serbia just today. Number 9 is not on the pitch quite yet, but we should see him in this second half is what we have been told.
Yeah, I without a doubt, he'll be in the second half, whether it's in the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but he will step on the field this half regardless.
And that could be huge for the Serbian White Eagles. We're underway here in the second half. The Serbian White Eagles trying to give their home fans a goal here and tie this game up in the second half. And they're on the run early here. Here's Gomez. Daryl Gomez working his defender. 3 converge on him. And he's caught off guard and he throws it into a defender as Portugal FC will get it near the half, but not past the half. Ramon Bailey taking an elbow to the face. It'll be a free kick for Portugal FC.
Yeah, Daryl Gomez has got to play that ball in early. He's got 2 runners. He's got Bulic and Radovic in front of the net, and he's waiting for 3 guys to come on top of him. So, you know, I mean, not a smart play by him, and he does a lot better than that.
Here's Mike Silva, set to kick it away from inside of the Portugal FC zone. That's headed on goal by the goal scorer, Vigor Gomez, and it'll be the first touch of the second half for Dan Pelk, who's been fairly solid. Hard to fault him on the goal. It was a fairly big rebound, but a hard shot off the boot of Ramon Bailey.
Yeah, it wasn't totally on him. Yes, he did give the rebound, but there was 2 defenders standing in front and allowing Gomez to pounce on that ball.
Here come the White Eagles. Daryl Gomez trying to make his presence known. It's sent back to Stojcic. That bounces over the foot. And that is sent long and wide. And
I don't know if the referee has given a corner.
looks like they're going to stay in that end, so it will be a corner kick.
Didn't see much of a touch on even on the replay, but maybe it was something that was heard from the official to make that call.
The captain Budalic will take the corner. The left foot sails over to the defender Yankovic. Yankovic, though, heads it past the end line, and it will be Mike Silva to take the goal kick.
Thought they could have done a little bit better on that corner. They did have the numbers in there, but you know, maybe a nice driven ball by Budalic might have been maybe a better option and have runners going on to that.
Here comes Silva. His low drive is picked off quite easily. Budalic sending it towards Dragan Radovic, but that shot is well wide. Didn't get any of the ball on that, and a strange play there. We're used to seeing some booming goal kicks from Mike Silva. He just had a complete mishit on that goal kick.
This is what the White Eagles want. They want the pressure right off the bat, but they got to capitalize on their chances. It was a good opportunity for him to take the shot, but he didn't get his body around, and therefore that ball sailed wide left to a place where he didn't want it. So he's got to do a little bit better than that. He's a top quality striker that can do better.
There's a better goal kick from Silva, but the White Eagles will take over possession. Budalic, it eventually gets back towards midfield. Here comes Portugal FC now. Emerson Feedy controls. He'll send it back to defense. Trying the middle of the field is Nat. Danny Emerell sending it back to Ronald Nicholas, who will try the right side, and a strong boot gets up to Gavin Fuller, and Fuller maintains possession, gets it back to Ramon Bailey. Bailey has Gomez. There's a shot, and that one time sailing well high and wide of the goal off the boot of De Silva. Mike Arcelides, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Ben. I've got the injury report for you. If you remember, late in the first half, it was McIntosh going down and he was hit in the back. Apparently, he pinched a nerve and he has no feeling in his left foot. He was hit by 20 in white. There you see him, Janosevich. McIntosh went down. He had a really tough time getting up. He's not even on the field right now. He's getting medically attended to, and he's got no feeling in his left foot. Apparently, he's pinched a nerve in his back. There's your injury report. Hopefully, he's better. I'll have some more a little later.
Well, thank you very much, Mike, and some bad news for the Portugal FC side as Kevin McIntosh is a very solid defender. They will miss him if he's out for an extended period of time. Doesn't sound like a good injury when you lose feeling.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a pinched nerve and nothing more. You'd hate to see players go down, especially that late, especially in a way that it happened. But right now their substitutes got to make most of the opportunity. And here you go. It's just a little bit of a knee. I don't know if it was. Yeah, I don't know if it was intentional or not. It didn't look like it was intentional by the White Eagles player, but nevertheless, it knocked the defender out of the game. And let's see now if the White Eagles can sort of put pressure on the substitute. Let's see what side they'll go down and maybe put some pressure on the Portugal FC's substitute defender.
Yami Williams is the substitute in for McIntosh. He came in at halftime. He's wearing number 6 on defense for Portugal FC. Portugal FC in the red, Serbian White Eagles in the white. It's Portugal leading the Serbians 1-0. About 5 minutes into this second half on Rogers TV. And a chair taken out at midfield.
And Williams is trying to make a statement, I guess, with the ball in the chair.
Yami Williams with his first touch, taking out a piece of furniture, but it will be a free kick now for the Serbian White Eagles. Here's Stostic. Sending it back to Medic. Medic drops it off. Here's Jancevic. Sapanovic looking for Gomez, and that sails wide. Throw in for Portugal FC.
Now let's see if they can close them down right here and maybe force them to make a mistake back here.
I don't think I mentioned Daryl Gomez once in that first half, but he's sort of made his presence known a little bit more in this second half.
Yeah, he's got to get a little bit more touches on the ball. He's a player that needs to have the touches, and he's a player that the White Eagles need for him to be involved. And like you said, we haven't really spoke about him in the first half, and he needs to find a way to get back into this game.
Well, there's our second yellow card of the game. This is the first to a Serbian White Eagle player. And hard to figure that that's a caution. Looked to be just an incidental contact.
And it could be maybe a statement call, just of what happened maybe at the end of the half, and just to sort of even up the scores there that way.
Looked to be Vucinic picking up the yellow card. And both teams now, each of them with a yellow card tonight. That's kicked away by Silva. And that's a ball that sails out of play. The fans starting to get a bit restless now. Emerson Feedy wants that ball. He doesn't want the new ball. He likes the way this one's playing in the second half. So,
well, I don't think it was an official ball that his teammate tried to give him. So you can't play with any unofficial balls in the game.
Here's the throw in from Feedy, and that play is broken up by the White Eagles. Back towards midfield. Strong pass back to Silva. Silva can't really handle it. Has to make a desperation move to avoid Radovic. Does though, but the White Eagles trying to add some pressure. The Portugal FC defense faltering a bit here early in the second half. Here's Jancevic. Jancevic has a man. Here's a shot on goal. Wicked bounce, and staying down on the play was Mike Silva. That took a huge hop, just about 3 feet in front of Silva, and he held his ground and made the save.
Yeah, good concentration by Silva. That took a wicked bounce and basically almost went over top of him, and nevertheless kept his hands on the ball, and there's no rebound. So a good save by Silva.
Well, that's one of the obstacles of playing at Centennial Stadium is the turf is not exactly even. And there are some lumps and bumps to be had along the way. That one almost cost Portugal FC. No harm, no foul, though. It's still 1-0 Portugal FC here. 55th minute. FC kick it in deep. Here's the goal scorer, Gomez, looking for it. Portugal FC let it go beyond the sideline, and they'll throw it in.
And it looks like Portugal FC is just hanging back too much. They're just trying to lump it out and just playing safe. But again, they're not keeping possession, and that's what you need to do for the time being until you reach later in the game.
Here's a kick to be had from Dan Pelk. Everybody retreats. He decides to drop kick it. High kick headed by Emerson Feedy. It's back to Yami Williams. Danny Amaral battling for the ball with Mirko Medic. Ball sent up to the captain Budalic, but he's taken off the ball by Williams. Here's Gomez, unable to control. Throw in for the Serbian White Eagles. Tematovic. And Emerson Feedy breaks it up, but only momentarily, as it'll be a throw in for the White Eagles. There's the head coach of the Serbian White Eagles, Milan Kancerovic. And his team is down a goal. They're looking to take over first place in the international division with a win here. And free kick there for the White Eagles. That's sent across the field. The Serbians looking for something here. Sapanovic battling, and that ball is kicked into the great beyond, into the enchanted forest.
I guess they're trying to waste some time, 10 minutes into the half. But no, they got to keep playing. You know, they're just playing too defensively right now. Portugal FC is, and hopefully it doesn't, you know, nip them in the bud, I guess, so to speak.
Well, we mentioned that that might not be the way to play against this Serbian White Eagles squad, who can put the ball in the net early and often. They haven't yet in this game, but they're playing with fire. Jose Testas coming out with a very defensive game plan here in this second half, trying to protect that 1-0 lead.
Serbians come out with a little bit more intensity in the second half, and you know, Portugal FC's got to now start matching that. And right now, it just seems that they're just holding on.
Here's Busto playing it across the field. That's in for almost getting through to Amaral, but you got to remember the giant frame of Yankovic in there to break it up. And the fans can't believe the offside call here. That's the loudest we've heard these fans. And now the White Eagle coaching staff getting on the referee a little bit. There's Kevin McIntosh. He appears to be okay there, sitting on the bench. We'll watch the end of this game, but the crowd's still rumbling about that offside call.
Really didn't get a good look at it, but nevertheless, you got to keep playing, and no matter what the crowd says, you got to make the call as an official.
And it didn't look like a particularly dangerous play. I mean, even if it was ruled onside, I mean, it was by no means a guaranteed scoring chance for the Serbians.
But you know, the referee's got to make the call. Like, if the assistant sees it's offside, regardless of dangerous or non-dangerous play. He is getting assessed on the sideline as well, so if he doesn't make that call, he gets maybe a failing grade on that. So, you know, he's got to make the call nevertheless if it's dangerous or non-dangerous.
Well, that referee is in dangerous territory now, very close to the Serbian White Eagles bench, and he's hearing it from not only the fans but the coaching staff and the players on the bench.
Yeah, he's not in a good situation right now, especially when the White Eagles are going that way and the bench is right behind you. So he's going to get an earful every time he walks by. You know, I've done it myself, so.
Yeah, it's just part of the game.
Sometimes, you know, it's it's, you know, playing maybe a little mind game. You know, you get into the referee's head or the assistant's head, and he may give you a call. You know, you never know.
We'll have to see. But right now, it'll be Portugal FC with a possession. It'll be Ronald Nicholas kicking it away. That's headed by the White Eagles. Goes off a foot to Jancevic. Played back to Jankovic. Jankovic looking to take a big swipe at the ball. He has a man in Dragan Radovic. Radovic maybe thinking that Daryl Gomez was cutting in. Gomez wasn't, and instead it's a turnover. A nice play by Emerson Feedy. Chops it over his man.
Very cheeky play, but a very skilled player. You know, sometimes players don't like that getting chipped and stuff, so he better watch himself a little bit. So
Emerson Feedy, not the biggest player on the field by any means, but making his presence known there. There's an attempted shot on goal by Vucinic, but that had little to no chance of finding the goal.
it was not a bad idea, but he's got to do better on the strike there.
It's getting down to crunch time here. Still plenty of time left. About half an hour to go in this game. But so far, not too many chances here in this second half. I would say the ball possession, though, has decidedly belonged to the Serbian White Eagles here in the second half. Just not too many scoring opportunities for them so far yet in this second half.
Yeah, the final third, they've been sort of struggling a little bit, just trying to find the net. Maybe some wrong decisions, but you know, they're still keep pushing forward. They do have the possession, and now they just got to capitalize in the final third.
Here's Jankovic. He has a man in Stematovic. Stematovic has Radovic. Radovic slips and falls, and that creates a turnover. And here's Ramon Bailey beating his man. Ramon Bailey gets the goaltender to beat, and he beats him. 2-0 Portugal FC. A costly turnover. Dragan Radovic slips on the turf, and it's Ramon Bailey there to collect the loose ball and make it 2-0 for Portugal FC.
It was a good ball through. A little hesitation on Pelk. You don't see it in the replay, but it was probably, he could probably have gotten that ball if he went with his first instincts and tended to stay on his line. And Bailey, no mistake, slotted it into the near post.
Well, what a change of emotion here from the Portugal FC squad. They came out in a defensive shell and really didn't have anything offensive going there, but it was Dragan Radovic slipping on the turf, and within seconds of that fall, Ramon Bailey was scorching down the turf and firing home Portugal FC's second goal of the game.
Let's see right now if White Eagles can capitalize on this opportunity.
There's a header that is just sent wide of the goal. Nice attempt there on the free kick.
Yeah, and going back to the field, I remember playing on this field. It's quite hard. The soil is quite hard underneath, and very slick up top. It's getting late now, so there's a little bit of moisture in the air, getting on top of the field, but not enough for it to moisten the soil underneath. So that's how Radovic slipped on that play, and it's not going to be the first person to be doing that tonight or for the rest of the game.
Well, Ramon Bailey never gave up on the ball. It looked like the defender had a beat on it, but Bailey just outrunning his man. And here's a chance now. Budalic working one-on-one. Budalic sends it in towards the middle. It's Dragan Radovic with the header. He can't believe he sends it wide.
Great ball in by Budalic, and Radovic had the beat on that ball, and you know, just probably inches wide of that post. You know, he's got to get that ball in. It's perfect for him. He did well to get in the open, and you know, connected it well. He's got to get it on net.
This is a Portugal FC squad who could only manage a draw against London City for London City's second point of the entire season. And now they're leading one of the top teams in the international division by a 2-0 score here in the second half.
If you look at the middle, look who's entering the game.
And here we mentioned that Sasha Visiknits is in the building, and he is about to enter this game. Number 9 for the Serbian White Eagles will take over the captain's armband for Nikola Budalic.
This is an odd substitution for the White Eagles. Budalic has probably been their most effective forward or most effective player going forward, and you're taking him off. Now I know Sasha is a good player, but I think they could have taken someone else off and kept Budalic on the park.
Well, goal scoring is going to need to be in the forefront of the White Eagles' mind, as they need 2 now if they want to tie this game up with Portugal FC. Here's Visiknits with his first touch of the game, and it results in a corner kick which will be taken by Visiknits. We'll have to see if he's affected by any jet lag at all, just arriving here from Serbia today. And here's Visiknits with the corner kick. That's headed away, and it will be a throw-in.
I think he'll feel it tomorrow. I think right now he's mentally prepared. You know, he's playing probably on pure adrenaline right now just to get into the game. So I think the 20 minutes that he's in the game, or 25 minutes, that's enough time for him to do something.
Here comes Portugal FC. Gomez has Bailey in the middle. Gomez has 2 defenders to beat, now 3. Gomez taking off the ball, and a fantastic play there by Mirko Medic. Medic sending it up, and Yami Williams picks it off. Gomez looking for his second goal of the game. Can't get it past the defender. Portugal firing it in. That's off ahead, and it will rule it a handball, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's what he's called.
Well, if you like the Canadian Soccer League action you're watching tonight, why don't you join us in a couple of weeks as the Serbian White Eagles will host the Brampton Lions on September 5th. We will be right back here at Centennial Stadium. 8 o'clock is when our broadcast gets underway, kickoff shortly thereafter. And the White Eagles will definitely be hungry for a win then, because right now they are in a deep hole against Portugal FC. They trail by a pair of goals. Vigor Gomez in the first half, and here in the second it was Ramon Bailey, and a bit of a grab there by Sasha Visiknits. And straight off the plane from Serbia, he will receive a yellow card.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a good foul to take, because you had the Portugal FC player charging down the sideline in a dangerous attack, and he basically had to take that for the team, so to speak. But the whole play started up with their defender taking the ball, not releasing it, and doing too much with the ball, and put Visiknits in a bad situation where he had to foul, where he had to pull the player down.
Ronald Nicholas took the free kick. It was picked off. Now it's Gomez playing it back. That'll get into Nicholas. Sasha Visiknits, and the fans sensing his run down the field as the Serbian White Eagles are trying to create turnovers at every opportunity, sending everybody in deep. Here's Dragan Radovic now. He's taken off the ball, throw in for the Serbian White Eagles.
Every time the White Eagles defense has the ball, you see good 10 players, 11 players behind the ball for Portugal FC. So now they're going to look to put the forward up and not allow any breakthroughs for the White Eagles. So you're going to look for them to sort of defend for the next 22 minutes and then some.
And maybe we'll see more of this. Players going down to the turf. As the fans are getting a bit restless here as they see the injured Portugal player on the field.
He's probably got some cramps, dehydrated. It's not that cool. It's still a little bit hot outside, but no, you're going to see players getting dehydrated and maybe cramp up as the game goes on.
So this is a bit of a delay on the field. Right now we saw the White Eagles make a substitution on the field. Couldn't quite see who came on. Was Mason coming on for Stamatovic. And now the fans really getting on the Portugal FC player as he's just now getting off the field and really limping.
I think they're worried about if the referee's going to keep any time, just like just the end of the last half. So I think that's why the crowd is getting all riled up.
That was Gagan Nat, who is still being attended to on the sideline. Emerson Feedy playing it up to Bailey. Bailey plays it back to Amaral. Amaral gets it up to midfield and no further.
Yeah, you see that the ground is a little bit slick now, so once that ball hits the turf, it's going to skip right off. So look for maybe a skip through for either team, so the defenders have got to watch the bounce in front of them.
Emerson Feedy will take the throw in. Looking for Ramon Bailey. We've got Mike Arcelides at the sidelines. Mike, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Ben. If you remember earlier, we gave you an update on McIntosh, Kevin McIntosh of the Portugal FC. It appears he's got feeling now in his foot, but he can't bend his back. So he's still grimacing in a lot of pain thanks to that injury earlier from Janosevic. So McIntosh is still hurt. He's done for the night, and he has no feeling. He has feeling back in his foot, but his back is killing him. So now back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Mike. And well, I'm not sure if that is good news for Kevin McIntosh. I suppose it's good news that he can feel his foot again, but that back appears to be in some pain. Here's Sasha Vesiknets sending it towards the middle. There's a shot on goal right on Mike Silva, and he makes no mistake gobbling it up. The substitute Mason with the shot on goal. That ball bounces dangerously in the Serbian White Eagle zone, but it's easily handled by Dan Pelk. Yankovic playing it up for Mason. That's up for Gomez. Gomez circles, surveys the field, has his man Vucinic. Vucinic taken off the ball just before the end line, so I believe it will be a throw-in.
Now the White Eagles have got to just maybe look to get some balls in front of the net. Hopefully, maybe get a bounce their way instead of just playing it on the wide flanks. Just get balls in, and you never know what's going to happen.
Well, just about 18 minutes left in this game for the Serbian White Eagles to score 2 goals. That's the deficit they're looking at. Portugal FC have taken advantage of their opportunities. First half, they got a big rebound off the shot by Ramon Bailey. It was eventually netted by Vigar Gomez. And here in the second half, they took advantage of a slip and fall by Dragan Radovic. And it was Ramon Bailey pounding it home past the goaltender, and here's another chance. It's Gomez. Gomez has 4 to beat, so he brings it back for Bailey. Bailey has Feedy. Emerson Feedy looking for Danny Amaral. He feeds him. Amaral, though, is taken off the ball. Amaral trying to get a hold on the defender. No call there. Up to Vesiknets. Vesiknets taken off the ball.
But a smart play by Gomez. You know, he's not going to beat 4 guys. He looks for the trailer, and they're just keeping the ball instead of just giving the ball away and maybe counterattack the other way. So smart play by Gomez, and doesn't really need the goals right now. So they look to just possess the ball.
Here's another substitution here as we have a look at Gavin Fuller leading the game for Steve Pacheco. Pacheco coming in for defensive purposes. There's a ball up for the substitute, Vusiknits. Vusiknits fetching the loose ball and will play it to his teammate for a throw-in. There's a strong body on the ball, but no call by the referee. Here's Danny Amaral on the run. Amaral playing it up for Gomez. Gomez taken off the ball, but controlled. That's played up to Bailey. Bailey trying to work his defender. More players slipping on the turf.
Yeah, it's starting to get really slick now, and the ground isn't getting any softer underneath. So, and you really can't prepare for that. You're not going to put maybe a 6-studded shoe. It's not comfortable to play with those type of shoes on this hard ground.
Nice play there by Mike Silva to gobble up that crossing ball. Emerson Feedy will cross it back for Bailey, and Bailey quickly plays it up to Gomez. Gomez playing it up, and that ball was intended for De Silva, but it was picked off by Yankovic. Serbian White Eagles now on the run. There's a miscommunication, and the fans didn't enjoy watching that. Danny Amaral trying to create a turnover in the offensive end. He's working his man Jancevic. Jancevic playing it dangerously back into the middle, and kind of looked like a fire drill in the end of the Serbian White Eagles. Eventually they do come away with possession, but it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, they got to do a little bit better than that, but it all started with the defender. He could have just played the ball back early to Dan Pelk, and he played a cheeky little pass in the middle, and fortunately for them that they didn't get it taken off of them.
Sebastian Busto with the yellow card for Portugal FC as he made a tackle from behind.
Right now the referee's got to just keep control of the game, you know, not letting any foolish fouls happen, and you know, by issuing some cards here and there, just to keep control, because you don't want this game getting out of hand and getting a little chippy.
Here come the White Eagles. That's booted away from harm's way. Vigor Gomez giving chase. Gomez working mid-each. We see both of them slip on the turf. The referee calls a free kick for the White Eagles. And Jose Testas not exactly enamored with that call. Ramon Bailey, his defensive attempt was denied, and almost getting right through was Sepanovic. Instead, it's Ronald Nicholas giving a nice run to Bailey, but he can't catch up to the long legs of Yankovic. Yankovic using those long strides to his advantage there. There's a deep ball for Vusiknits. Vusiknits trying to get his first shot on goal since his return. He's not giving up. He's got fresh legs, and he uses them to take down Nicholas. No call. And Vusiknits sends it into the middle. What a save! And what a save! And not able to keep it out was Mike Silva. And we've got a brand new game. Vucinic sending home the crossing pass from Vusiknits. Portugal FC absolutely irate that the call was not made in the corner. And the direct result was a goal. It's a 2-1 game.
Yeah, good hustle by Vusiknits. Playing the whistle, you know, a good non-call. Ball was fortunately stayed in bounds. A good cross, good low cross, and good first save by Silva, but can't get a handle on that rebound. And that's how the first goal happened for Portugal FC. Two defenders were just standing around, and there you have it. Again, two Portugal FC defenders standing around, and the White Eagles attacker was able to get his own rebound.
Milos Vucinic, the goal scorer, but that was created almost entirely by Sasha Vusiknits. And it was a momentum changer, to be sure. All of a sudden, the Serbian White Eagles are back into this game. They still trail 2-1, but so much time left, and you've got to believe there's going to be a ton of added time as well, the amount of injuries we've had in this second half.
Well, you would probably amount to about 5 minutes, but you know, the referee is the timekeeper of the game, and now you have, you know, the Serbian White Eagles fans, you know, showing a little bit of disrespect to the player down. You know, yeah, you got to play. You got to have some fair play and some class to just sort of respect the guy that's down. And you know, if the referee does his job, he will keep the time, and the time will be added on at the end of the half or at the end of the game.
What a change to the momentum of this game. We mentioned that Sasha Visiknets would be coming in as a substitute in the second half, and it couldn't have come at a more opportune time for the Serbian White Eagles. And the Serbian White Eagles fans getting pretty restless here on the sidelines.
Yeah, after watching the replay, I think it was a good non-call by the referee. You know, I mean, Visiknets did get all ball. You know, the follow-through might have clipped Bailey, and you know, he stayed with the play. You know, I mean, the referee didn't blow the whistle. You always teach your players to play the whistle, and non-stop by Visiknets and created that goal.
We're back underway. Portugal FC still lead. The Serbian White Eagles 2-1. Vigor Gomez plays it back to Emerson Fidi. Fidi trying that chip past the defender, doesn't work this time. Fidi will throw it in. Fidi looking for Gomez. Gomez taken off the ball. Serbian White Eagles push to the turf. And some temper starting to flare now. Things are definitely getting heated. It's a playoff race as De Silva.
Yeah, right now, White Eagles have got to keep their composure. You know, they're trailing by 1. Let's see if they can build on this. And number 2, the referee's got to take control of this match. He's allowed the play to go on a little bit, and you know, it's got to start you know, taking control of this match.
And there's another piece of discipline. Ronald Nicholas, the latest recipient of a caution.
I think it's because the referee did not officially wave them on, and in the rule books, if the referee does not wave you on, even if you're injured, it's an automatic booking, and you need the referee's approval before coming onto the field.
Well, things really starting to get interesting here. These are about the loudest fans we've experienced here at Centennial Stadium, and maybe they realize how important this game is. First place in the division on the line. And the referee trying to restore some sanity to this ball game. He puts the book away, and we will finally play on. Yankovic playing it up the left side. Serbian White Eagles on the run. Played back to the goal scorer, Vucinic. He's taken off the ball by Bailey. Bailey bangs it off a defender. It stays inside the Portugal end. Here come the White Eagles. Gomez bodied off the ball. More physical play. Gomez isn't happy about it. And it looks like it will be a free kick awarded. Sasha Visiknets will take it just outside the area.
And now you see Nicholas coming into the game. The referee has approved his entry, and you know, now he's got to be cautious because he's got to be aware that he's got that yellow card, so he can't really tackle that hard.
Here's Visiknets. That's a fantastic save by Mike Silva. Ended up being a shot on goal by Visiknets. Curls it with the left foot, and punching it out of midair was Mike Silva.
Yeah, he just wanted to play it safe. It was a good shot on net. Might have caught Silva cheating a little bit, but didn't want.
Here's Sasha Visiknets, a shot just over the bar. Sorry to interrupt you there, Theo, but Sasha Visiknets is making his presence known here in the second half.
Yeah, he's once he's got his first touch in, you know, I mean, he's been so far the difference. Maybe not taking off Budalic, but you know, obviously he's a you know, a difference maker, and he's done well so far. And look for him to keep going.
Yankovic heads it. Here comes Gomez. Gomez looks towards the middle of the field. Here's a shot by Gomez and a goal! What a shot from distance by Daryl Gomez! This game is all tied. Daryl Gomez faking the through ball into Vesiknets. Silva not expecting the shot from distance, but it was a beauty. It finds the corner, and all of a sudden we are tied up at 2s.
Yeah, unbelievable shot by Gomez. He's going to get his booking, but well worth the booking. Just took an opportunity. He knew what he wanted to do with that ball, and you know, I think it just caught Silva off guard. And you know, it was something, you know, you never want to see a goal from that far, but you know, give Daryl Gomez credit. You know, I mean, he knew what he was going to do with that ball once he got in.
Daryl Gomez sending this crowd into a frenzy. 2-0 deficit means nothing, apparently, to the Serbian White Eagles. They're looking for more now. The fans absolutely electrified by that incredible shot from distance by Daryl Gomez when it looked like he was going to try and feed it through the middle to Sasha Vesiknets. Instead, fires an absolute cannon into the top left corner.
Yeah, and right now, the White Eagles have got to build on this. They got to continue with the momentum. They got it right now. You know, they can't stop, and they can't stop for the tie. They got to keep going. They got the pressure on them. I think Portugal FC is content with a tie right now. I don't see them going to go forward much now, but you know, they did well to get back into this game.
Gomez trying to work his man off the ball. Every play so important with just about 5 minutes left. Make that 4 minutes left until added time here in the second half, and what a second half it's been. 3 goals, one of them by the Portugal FC, but 2 from the Serbian White Eagles. Ramon Bailey trying a shot from distance there as well, but well high and wide.
Yeah, he's got to do a little bit better than that. I know the idea was right, but he's got to get his body over that ball. You know, often a volley is not an easy play to do, but you know, instead of just take off a little power and try to get it on net, and you know, things can happen when you get it on net.
That goal kick gets to midfield. Here's the spark plug Vesiknets playing it off.
You gotta cover with something.
And that is going to be played up. That's the goal scorer, Gomez. Gomez gets horse collared. And the crowd wanting another caution, but none called by the referee. Free kick. Here's Jancevic. Jancevic looks on as 4 Serbian players are inside the area, and that one curls on goal. And maybe the strategy of the Serbian White Eagles starting to shine through here. Getting the ball on goal and on target, as they've got Mike Silva guessing now. Here comes Portugal FC. Vigor Gomez. Can't get past the outstretched head of Yankovic.
You can see the Portugal FC. You know, they got the 2 guys going forward, but there's big gaps in between the midfield and the forwards. So there's no support that way. So I don't know if they're looking to try to get another goal or basically just playing for the tie. So they need, if they want to go for the goal, then they need their midfield to start supporting their forwards.
We're going to have a substitution for Portugal FC as Sebastian Busto will come off for Gustavo Serrano. Bailey. Hugs the sideline. Played into Feedy. He's got a bit of room. And he plays it over to Serrano. Serrano, the substitute's going to have a goal. A shot on goal made that. And it was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good strike on net. Put his head down. He knew what he wanted to do. And Dan Pelk was ready for it. Didn't catch him off guard, so it was a good shot and a good save by Dan Pelk.
The side referee signaling 5 minutes of added play here in the second half. There's a corner batted away by Dan Pelk. Comes Portugal FC. Headed by Danny Amarell into the waiting arms of Dan Pelk. 30 seconds away from added time. Portugal FC and the Serbian White Eagles knotted at twos. A fantastic game all around in there. We see some more slippage. Both players falling down. Daryl Gomez, the goal scorer, heading to the turf. Here's Dragan Radovic. Radovic working his man. Radovic looks to have a cross. Radovic trying the cross, but into the arms of Silva.
Yeah, he's got to do a little bit better than that. Got to get away from the keeper. You got two guys in front of the net. He did well to get a good opening on that cross, but got to get away from the keeper instead of trying to score. I don't know if he was trying to score on that, but get that ball away from the keeper and things will happen.
Feedy playing it up. Here's the substitute, Serrano, taking off the ball. Here's a throw-in, taken quickly. That's booted out of play as we are into added time here in the second half. As we mentioned, 5 minutes of added time, so still plenty of time left in this game for one of these teams to pick up a valuable 3 points. Here's Radovic. Radovic getting some room. Radovic gets through his defender, has his man Vucinic, but Vucinic can't handle it. Here comes Bailey trying to create an opportunity in transition. What a chance there. Dragan Radovic leaving it all on the field here. Emerson Feedy now. Feed into Gomez. Gomez, he'll have a shot. That takes a strange bounce. Drop kicked 3/4 of the way down the field. Nicholas has it slip off his boot, and it'll be a throw-in for the Serbian White Eagles.
It's going to go back and forth for the next 3 minutes.
Here's a cross and a very nice play by Mike Silva there to break up all the chances, as the Serbian White Eagles obviously not going to be content with just 1 point here. They've come all the way back from a 2-0 deficit. They want 3 points. Here comes Portugal FC. Emerson Feedy up the left side. Beats his defender, now looking for a cross. Feedy with the hard cross, header on goal! And that's a goal! Portugal FC have seen their 2-0 lead disappear, but now they have a 3-2 lead in added time in the second half.
And it's a guy that you need to keep your eye on for 90 minutes. Danny Amaral, top scorer on the team, leader, captain, inspirational leader, and comes through in maybe the 93rd minute, 94th minute of this game. A guy that you need to have your eye on for 90+ minutes, and unfortunate for the White Eagles to let their efforts go to waste.
Danny Amaral appears to be the goal scorer, and what a second half of action here at Centennial Stadium. Portugal FC blows a 2-0 lead. Here's a free kick. Danny Amarell putting the Portugal FC on his back after being completely deflated by blowing a 2-0 lead. Danny Amarell with a pretty much as timely a goal as you can have in added time to put Portugal FC back on top 3-2 and give a big boost to their playoff hopes, as currently they sit outside of the playoff picture.
But nothing's over yet. You know, you got a dangerous opportunity for White Eagles. Let's see if they can take advantage. You got a guy that you want on the ball in Visignets, which is their one of their leading scorers. So, you know, they have to get out of this free kick for them to get the 3 points.
Visignets is close. Not sure who's going to take it. Referee blows the whistle. It's Visignets with the shot off the bar and headed wide. What a free kick by Sasha Visignets. It goes off the bar. A chance for the White Eagles on the rebound, but unable to put it home was Stosistic, and the fans can't believe it.
Quality free kick by Visignets, and just unfortunate. It might have taken a different bounce. As you, it's hard to tell from here, but the goalposts here at Centennial Stadium are a square goalpost, and usually in international play, that's a circular goalpost. So they might have gotten a better bounce off that, off the bar if it was a circular goalpost. And with the sleekness of the ground, it was a tough play for the White Eagle attacker to follow up on that, on the header.
Stosistic had the opportunity off the crossbar. Sasha Visignets trying to put his team on his back here in the second half, and just inches away from a 3-3 game. See another substitution being made there by the Portugal FC side, and it's hard to tell how much time would be left in this game because we are already past the 5 minutes of added time.
I would assume there would probably be another minute and a half left, just due to with all the things that just happened, injuries and another injury down. So I'm looking for the referee to sort of hold the time now, as the stakes are a little bit high right now. So, you know, but Portugal FC is still not out of it yet. They just got to keep the ball deep, play it into the corners, waste a little time that way, and they'll get their 3 points.
What a second half. This second half has seen 4 goals scored, 2 each by Portugal FC and the Serbian White Eagles.
I think Emerson's going to look to either hit this ball on net or play it wide to his teammate. It will be very...
Here's Feedy. Feedy playing it into Amaral. That play almost worked. White Eagles unable to get it to midfield, and Portugal FC just trying to kill this clock. White Eagles take it quickly, and that looked to be an illegal throw. He did appear to have his foot on the field there, but no call there. Feet flying here. Here's Visignets. They've got the man they want with the ball. Visignets, though, is taken off, and here's an opportunity, corner kick.
I think this is the last play. I think everyone should just basically go in. Even Dan Pelt, you know, he should be just rushing into the box, because after that ball gets knocked out, I think the referee's going to call it. So let's see what happens in the box. There's a lot of pushing and shoving and grabbing in there. You know, you don't want if you're Portugal FC to put a little nonsense and pull someone down and give a freebie in there.
Here's the corner kick, headed away. And there's the whistle from the referee. Full time. Portugal FC with the most improbable of wins, 3-2 over the Serbian White Eagles. What a game from Centennial Stadium here on Rogers TV. 2 goals each for the teams here in the second half. Portugal FC came into this second half with a 1-0 lead. They built it to 2-0 off a goal by Ramon Bailey, but the Serbian White Eagles responding. Vucinic and Gomez tied it to 2, but the captain, Danny Amaral, seals it to keep Portugal FC's playoff hopes alive. I'm Ben Ennis for Theo Zagar and everybody in the truck, Mike Arcelides. Good night from Centennial Stadium.